I wanted to share, my recent conversations with mortgage professionals, and I wanted to share that this is the goal for us now and the changes that we are looking to implement on the back end side of the process. So initially, when we started this process, it was more focused on, hey, how can I just get an abundance of conversations with the right type of realtor coming towards you? Now, recently, I had a lot of conversations with people doing good volume, right? They're doing good, but they want to go to that level of great. One of the most common thing that I saw there is in their vocabulary and their conversations is that, hey, you know what? I have these top 20% of my realtors that gets 80% of my business. So, that's the biggest pool. That might be 2 to 3 people, which is great, right? I don't think that I'm gonna be, losing them anytime soon, but I want to keep growing. So if I want to keep growing, then I need to add like 2 to 3 of this type, another on top of it. But the challenge is that I don't actually have the time right now to focus there. So that's where I'm looking to get help. That type of conversation is very different from anyone who is just open to more realtor connections. So they're like, hey, you know what? I have a few here and there. It's not yet settled, so sometimes I get it from them, sometimes I don't. So that's the challenge. Now, people doing 10 million, 12 million and below that, that's their challenge. They're open to growth, but they're not willing to invest entirely into that. So we're looking to see like who exactly would be the best fit for something like this. On the back end side, how we used to do was, hey, you know what? Let's make a list and qualify the right type of people. And once we have the right type of people, we will go for just introducing them to you, just getting them in front of you so that you can then break the course into 2 parts and then nurture that relationship, which is good. But one thing that I noticed there is that we only get like a specific, 10%, 15% of the entire pool. There is a lot of things that can be done on top of it, which we will now implement after having these conversations with people doing 25 million plus in productions. Making sure that there is an ecosystem of follow-up, and that being the 80% of the conversions, not the upfront. And making sure that the focus is more on the conversions of getting those top 2 to 3 realtors replaced is the core value, right? So it's not about, hey, how many appointments can I get? It's about, hey, can I end up with 3 people who does at least like 10, 12 annual buyer sites, and they're willing to give me 4 or 5 deals a year. That is pretty much like maybe each realtor adds 4 deals a year times 3 realtors. That is like 12 deals extra added just from one investment. That's two in the just the first year. And then the more you nurture the relationship, the better it gets, the better they see your services, the better it gets. And so especially when we are working with like when we're talking with people doing 20 million plus, they don't have a problem getting deals. They have a problem getting the right type of deals and the right type of realtor who actually values them and appreciates that, hey, you know what? I'm glad that I have these kind of people. So the entire mindset had to be changed, right? So recently in the last campaign that we took up, uh, for one of our clients who we have been working with like almost like 5 months now on and off, and we are planning to double his production, almost like triple his production the next 12 months in 2026. And he's very focused on getting to that double number. He's doing below 15 mil in productions annually, and then he's looking to double that, productions. So he's not focused on, hey, you know what, can I get as quality? Of course, that's the outcome, but he doesn't know that if I just focus on conversions rather than just the volume that's coming in, that would be the most valuable thing. Now, even though our service already proved to him, that's why he wants to just keep investing into that. But we also will be adding that social media thing, the email follow-ups, and maybe like the ad targeting, like retargeting using Facebook ads. Ideally, maybe list reports as well. I heard list reports is like really great. I recently had 2 conversations, one on a cold call. It was one of the most warm conversations on a cold call. That's the irony of it. Um, and then another guy who is 90% refi heavy. He was getting into purchase businesses, and he brought up list reports that, hey, you know what, guys, I need like connections with the right type of realtors. And I want you guys to help me get that so that I can get signups under list reports because that helps you nurture those relationships and, ideally get them converted. what I wanted to point out is that I just saw a strict difference in mindset, not experience in years. Some of the people doing 25 million, there is one guy who is 50 years old but still is active, growing, growth oriented. And then there is this, a couple of, people below 40 who are, below 30, one guy below 30, and then two people below 40, and they are like very aggressively moving forwards. But on the same side, there are people who is in the same age bracket, but they're like, hey, you know what, I'm perfectly doing all right, I don't need any help, and I have enough business that I can handle. So I have to understand, like, what is the problem on that side? Is it more like the processing capacity is not that much, the loan options is what they're focusing on, or they already have enough referral partners that they don't need, like they can just, whenever they want, they can just turn it on, and then they can get like double their production. So I still have to understand that part of the business, but overall, the recent conversations has been highlighting only one key factor, that the ideal goal for people doing like 20 million and above is to, yes, double their production. But how to double their production is not by adding a big volume of realtors, it's only by adding the right volume of realtors. So we are changing our entire system on the back end, focused on that part. And it has been a gradual journey so far. We have, changed a lot of stuff in the pitch. Right now, we got about 150, almost close to 150 appointments, I would say. In total, 100 appointments at least. I'm not sure. I lost the count of it in the last 4 or 5 months. And all of these appointments, the most important key factor in these appointments are that these are appointments that came in from the first cold call, right? So we haven't converted follow-up calls. We haven't converted anything apart from cold calling, right? So we have like a big pool of conversion that is remaining right now. So the next stage looks very promising, and that's why I always wanted to first of all streamline the cold calling aspect of acquisition, so that the next things becomes easier. Right, the DMs and the retargeting ads and the email follow-ups, everything comes in one place because they already know, like, the name of the mortgage professional is out there in the market. And these are realtors doing like 30 sites annually, 36 sites, 40 sites, 60 sites annually. And they do have a lender, right? They do have a lender, multiple lenders, but then still, they would still be open to exploring more options, right? It's always good. One of the realtors told me, I was on that cold call. I was cold calling that person on behalf of one of my clients. And he told me that it never hurts to have another lender if you have really good products and options. Sometimes one deal can, fall apart, and that's when you can save it out. But yeah, so I wanted to share that. This is the recent update, and things are looking positive. But I am gonna be rating a lot of people this Thanksgiving and the Christmas and the New Year. I'm not going on vacation. I cannot go. So there is a goal. We are aiming for 10 clients, right? Three more right now as we speak. We are letting go of two clients, so we have capacity for five more. So if you're a mortgage professional and you want to explore growing your realtor referral partnerships, this is the best time to do it before 2026 hits. And we can already get started with the foundational level and the first few appointments coming in. You have these conversations with local people who at least have 10 buyer sites that they're doing, so that once you build those partnerships and you nurture those partnerships, there is enough for you, right? And we keep bringing this abundance of realtor conversations towards you, so that you know you can just keep focusing on nurturing and then converting from there. And the 80% heavy lifting on the front end, that's on us. But if you want to learn more about that, you can just comment down below and I'll share with you further details. Or just go and check the description. I have shared our website. You can go and schedule a call right away from there. I appreciate your time. Have a good day. Cheers. See you soon.